Welcome back.
In previous session, we discussed in detail about all the sessions of epithelium. Now, in this session, we will just go through the summary, that is all the headings and subheadings. Okay, just brush up the headings and subheadings what was discussed in detail in the previous sessions. So, we just went through the general introduction, okay, which dealt with what is histology and how the slides were made. Okay, then discussed a little bit about the relationship from cells to organ systems. That is, the group of cells with similar function and structure will form the tissues. That is, four basic tissues, and these four basic tissues they join to form the organ, and the organs which are having similar structure with minute differences and similar functions, they go to form the organ systems. And it was also um, dealt with the appearance of sections, how when we take a section in different planes, how the solid structure looks, how the cell appears, or how the luminal part, okay, in the body when we take in different planes of sections will be observed. So coming to the epithelium proper, okay, here what is epithelium? Epithelium, it is nothing but group of cells which have similar function and structure which is present or lies on the basement membrane. Okay, so that is the epithelium. Then characteristics: cells are closely packed. Then they have less intercellular substance. All the cells rest on the basement membrane. It is avascular. That means it does not have any blood supply. Okay, then we have seen how the cells uh, act replacing the damaged cells during the repair. Okay, then coming to the functions, epithelium acts as a barrier, okay, permitting only to certain substances. Then it helps in absorption, secretion, excretion, lubrication and sensory perception. Now, basement membrane, it is an extracellular matrix composed of glycoproteins, type 4 collagen and laminin, divided into the reticular and the basal lamina. Basal lamina is further divided, and it binds the epithelium to the connective tissue. Then it acts as a barrier between the two, and it helps in cell organization and repair. Now, what is epithelioid tissue? What is epithelioid tissue? The epithelioid tissue is group of cells which does not rest on basement membrane. It is present in the testis, then ovary, adrenal gland and thymus. Okay, so they do not have a basement membrane. They are just a group of cells scattered in the connective tissue. Scattered in the sense not too far away. It is in group but without a regular arrangement like in the epithelium. Now, specializations are the modifications of cell membrane on apical and basal surface like cilia, flagella, microvilli, stereocilia and basal folds. Okay, so these will help in the movement of any substance, or it will increase the area of absorption. Okay, so that is the functions of the specializations. Okay, coming to the classification. Okay, classification, we all know it is classified based on the morphology. So morphology, it is divided into squamous, cuboidal and columnar cells. Okay, then the classification based on the number of cells is simple, then stratified and pseudostratified. The simple epithelium is nothing but it is the one layered epithelium. Okay, one layered epithelium. It can be squamous, it can be cuboidal or the columnar epithelium. Okay, then stratified, it is more than one layer of epithelium. So if there is more than one layer of epithelium, we call it as stratified. Now pseudostratified does not belong to simple or stratified. Here all the cells lie in a single layer resting on the basement membrane. Then this, based on the surface modifications, it is further divided into pseudostratified non-ciliated epithelium, then pseudostratified ciliated epithelium, and pseudostratified columnar epithelium with stereocilia. Coming to the combined shape and layers, okay, in the combination, both taking the morphology and the number of layers, it is further classified into the simple epithelium and stratified epithelium. Now here in the simple epithelium, okay, we will see what are the classifications here. So it can be divided into simple squamous, simple cuboidal and simple columnar based on the type of cells it is present. So it is a single layer, okay, single layer with the squamous cells or the flattened cells. So if it is single layer with flattened cells, it is called as simple squamous. Then simple cuboidal is one layer with cuboidal cells. Simple columnar is one layer with columnar cells. Now simple cuboidal can be further classified, okay, subclassified based on the surface modifications. So whether it is cilia, flagella or the microvilli, okay, it is classified as simple cuboidal with brush border, that is the apical surface as the microvilli, okay, irregularly arranged. So that is simple cuboidal with brush border. Then without the surface modification, it is just called as simple cuboidal. Now coming to the simple columnar, there are simple columnar epithelium, that is one layer of columnar cells without any surface modifications, okay, it forms the simple columnar epithelium. Then simple columnar with striated border, that is the apical surface as the microvilli regularly arranged, okay, and this is called as simple columnar with striated border. Simple columnar with brush border, the apical surface as microvilli but it is irregularly arranged, okay, so it is called as simple columnar with brush border. Simple ciliated columnar, okay, the apical surface has a long cilia on its surface, okay, so if it has a long elongated cilia on the apical surface, it is called as simple ciliated columnar epithelium. Now coming to the stratified epithelium, okay, stratified epithelium, it is further divided based on the surface cells, what type of cells are present on the surface. It is further classified into stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, stratified columnar and transitional epithelium. Now stratified squamous is that epithelium where, so we know stratified means there are more than one layers. It has a basal columnar layer, then intermediate polygonal cells and the surface layer which differs from place to place. So if it is squamous cells on the surface, then it is called as stratified squamous. If the surface cells are cuboidal, it is called as stratified cuboidal. If the surface cells are columnar, then it is stratified columnar. And in transitional, the surface cells are large cells. It can be pear shaped or it can be a round shaped cells, okay, or dome shaped cells, okay, on the surface. So that goes to form the transitional epithelium. Now stratified squamous is further subclassified into two types, okay, based on the surface again, okay, whether the surface cells are living or dead cells. Now if the surface cells lose its nucleus and the cell organelles and it is completely filled with the keratin, okay, which is a protein, then it is called as the stratified squamous keratinized epithelium. Now the surface cells are flattened cells with nucleus and cell organelles, okay, which are living cells, then it is called as the stratified squamous non-keratinized epithelium. Okay, stratified cuboidal, the surface cells are cuboidal, okay, all are living cells. It is two layered cells, okay. Same in the stratified columnar, it is two layered cells, both basal and the surface cells are columnar in shape. Now transitional, again it is more than two layers. The basal layer is columnar. The intermediate cells, which are 2 to 3 layer thick, it is polygonal in shape, and the surface cells are large dome shaped or pear shaped or round shaped cells. Okay, so that is about the classification of the epithelium. Now coming to the next section, that is the epithelial junctions. Okay, we have finished the general introduction, relationship from cells to organs, then appearance of sections, epithelium, then the introduction of the epithelium, its features, classification, features, then the functions of the epithelium, then specializations, that is surface modifications, and then we have come to the classification. Okay. Now coming to the epithelial junctions. Now epithelial junctions, they are the junctions, okay, which is adherent to each other, okay, by the specialized intercellular junctions. Okay, all these cells, okay, which are present in the groups, they are kept intact in position. Okay, where adjacent cells are anchored to each other by specialized intercellular junctions. Okay, so these are called as epithelial junctions. Now, these epithelial junctions occur through the help of the cell adhesion molecules, okay, which is further classified into, okay, further classified into the calcium dependent and calcium independent cell adhesion molecules. Now, what are the calcium dependent cell adhesion molecules? Now, as the name suggests, the cell adhesion molecules depends on the calcium for its activity. So, the cell adhesion molecules which depends on the calcium are cadherins, integrins, and selectins. And calcium independent cell adhesion molecules are neural calcium cell adhesion molecules and intercellular cell adhesion molecules. So this is present between the cells, adjacent cells, and neural CAMs are which is present in the neural tissue. Okay, so now coming to the classification of epithelial junctions, the epithelial junctions are broadly classified into three types. That is the zonula occludens, gap junction, and anchoring junction. Zonula occludens is present close to the apical surface of the cells. Then in between the apical surface and the basal surface is the gap junction, and anchoring junctions. Okay, anchoring junctions are of three types. Okay, which is zonula adherens, which is present uh, just close to the zonula occludens. Okay, it is present just close to the zonula occludens, and desmosomes are present in between the gap junction and the basal surface. Okay, and hemidesmosomes are the anchoring junctions which is present. Okay, anchoring, that is it adheres the basal surface to the basement membrane. Okay, so the rest all, that is zonula adherens, desmosomes, gap junction, zonula occludens, they all are present in the side walls of the cells, which helps in anchoring the cells to the adjacent cells. Okay, so that is about the epithelial junctions. Coming to the renewal of epithelial cells. So there is constant renewal of cells in different parts of body. Okay, and the rate of renewal, okay, rate of renewal, it varies accordingly in different parts of the body. The stem cells can be located, okay, that is coming to the location of stem cells which renews the epithelial cells. It can be present, okay, close to the region of renewal, or it can be present away from the region of renewal. Okay, and during any damage of organ, okay, during damage of any organ, the stem cells comes into action to repair the organ. Okay, so that is renewal of epithelial cells. Coming to the clinical anatomy, there are various clinical anatomy like thickening of basal lamina, cancer, metaplasia, celiac disease, Cartagena syndrome, chronic bronchitis, and acne, which was discussed in detail, okay, in the previous session. Okay, so you can go back and view the clinical anatomy in the previous session. So that is about the summary of the epithelium. Okay, so in the next session, I'll be discussing on epithelial glands. So see you in the epithelial glands.
Join my Facebook community, link in the description. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.